All right, hi everybody. Hope you're having a good week so far. I'm going to show you the last part of the programming step, which is to create a collectible object. So, one thing that's a little different about this that we're going to see is that this isn't going to give us like a tab or anything, but it's going to go through like how that process works when you do the script. So, where we had left off was when you hit play, the character will move around. So you can see I have my coin here, it's rotating, there it is. But when I run into it, it just kind of stops me. So there's nothing that's like causing it to actually go through. So what we need to do is a couple of things. The first is we're going to go into that script that we made yesterday. So if you go into the collectible script, we have this rotating. So every frame it essentially will rotate by 1 unit each time. The other one is what you're going to see in the tutorial, which is called void on trigger enter. So what this does is it'll look for a collider. So if you remember in Fusion, it was an if then statement. Unity uses C sharp, and that just means that when these things collide, so in other words, when we look at our game and we see it right here, you can see like this object, this box here is kind of its collider. So, in other words, when we have our game objects that collide with them, and again, if I move back, you can see so another basically when these two colliders hit each other, then it's going to do something. So in Unity and a lot of those in a lot of code, it's called on trigger enter or something kind of similar to that. So when you look at this, it says on trigger enter in the parentheses. What it's asking for is like what is the collision, like what is going to be the trigger, and it's saying the collider and other. And then what you're going to see here are these this green writing, which are called comments. So the comments are just for the person doing the coding to see if the object like, it's basically to give, like, feedback or to kind of explain what the purpose of a code is. So in this case, it's telling us what this does, and this seems obvious, but it's destroying the game object that it collides with. So what it's looking for is this is what's called a method, and Unity has some like built-in functions. One of them is destroy, and then you just say whatever the game object this is attached to is. Okay, so once you have added this code right here, you're going to hit save. You're going to go back to your game. And you want to make sure again that if you click on your collectible that this object is here. Now, there is one other step that I need to do. So we've added the script and theoretically it should work. But when I go into my scene and I'm driving, you'll see I still can't really do much. So the reason that's occurring is because I need to click this check mark right here. So I need to put is trigger so that it will actually destroy the game object, right? So then when I go back, I should see it and it goes away. So that's what we want it to do. Now to finish the scene, what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this a few different times. So I'm just going to hit Control V. I'm going to hit paste again. I'm just going to make a few coins that I can go in and kind of um, collect as I'm building the scene, and I think that's the last one right here. So what I can do, like if I'm making a prototype, is I can move these like around. They're all gonna have these same properties because I copied and pasted them. So I might put one like over here, and I can put one over here. And now when I hit play and I'm driving around, I should see that they will, like when I run into them, you'll notice that the wall has kind of the spatial arrangement. But there I go. Okay, and then I have my last one here. Now what I actually want to see is if I have the Roomba hit it. The Roomba is actually below it, so it doesn't work. But everything works good. Right, so that is the last step with programming. It's just getting a good idea of how the you apply scripts, how you add them, how you kind of interact with them and read them. A lot of so they can get really complex, but a lot of times it's pretty similar. The language, especially with modern game engines, is pretty similar to what you would be seeing um, with some of the pseudocode we saw in Fusion. So I hope this helps you. If you have any questions, please let me know and have a good rest of your day.